I want to talk a little bit about what's going on right now with CRO versus Bitcoin and look at the general crypto market because there are some very interesting things that I'm seeing in the charts. And today is purely a TA video on crypto.com and looking at this broader market. Not a lot of news right now, but the price action I think is at a very pivotal moment. And I think it needs to be looked at. So stick around to the end of this video, guys. Welcome back to the Crypto Report. I am Crypto Kip, doing content for you guys every single day here on this channel. And I want to talk a little bit about what we're seeing right now. This is the Solana chart. I was looking at this. I've been looking at Ethereum this morning. I've been looking at our total market cap of altcoins. I've been looking at all these things, Bitcoin dominance. And we're seeing Bitcoin dominance still continue to climb up. And I'm going to start with this. Before I get over to CRO, you got to understand where I'm looking at the entire market to get a frame of reference for what I see for CRO right now. Okay. So first off, if you look at Bitcoin, it does look like Bitcoin could potentially be finding a bottom, which could be a very good thing to indicate maybe CRO coin is finding a bottom. That's kind of just how this market has historically worked, where when Bitcoin's showing strength, you typically would expect the altcoins to at least hold steady, if not climb up alongside Bitcoin. You know, at least the good ones shouldn't be falling as Bitcoin is rising. And the fact that we had this high back in January of 2025 at the beginning of this year, right at like 110, and we've had a couple levels of resistance found at 110 and a little bit of support, there is a chance that we could be finding a little bit of a sort of bottom here. And that's what all these red lines are. These are basically me showing how I establish these levels of support and resistance. You can see how many times we've bounced on and around 100,000, bounced on and around 107. And yes, there's also a level right at about 110, which is a very psychological level. Here we are floating around 109, right in that 110 region. And if you do look at what's going on the daily, it's quite optimistic. As you get into the hourly candle, we're getting a nice move this morning. Look at this range that Bitcoin has been really chopping around in. It's actually an insanely low volatile moment this weekend. Just really over this whole stretch of weekend, it's been really calm. And that makes sense, guys, because on the weekends, the markets are closed. Crypto's typically less volatile. So here we are on the weekend, just kind of chopping side. And just look at how much bigger these moves are during the weekdays. And then Friday comes and Saturday and Sunday, and it's like this really tight little range. Now we're seeing a little bit of a move up. There's a chance that Bitcoin is finding a bottom here, and it's a chance that Bitcoin could try to start rallying back up. What does that mean for CRO? Well, it could mean that CRO coin might want to find a bottom off of, these previous levels of resistance right around this 17-cent level, maybe down to 16 cents. I wouldn't be surprised if CRO coin found that 16-cent level that I've been talking about and found a bounce there. I have started to talk about and give the possibility of a 10-cent CRO to reoccur, but I personally don't believe that reoccurs unless Bitcoin falls lower. And the good news we're seeing today is that Bitcoin might be holding up a little bit more. We are right now in September 28th. October is historically a rather bullish time for crypto, and that is happening in just a few short days. With an average of 21% gains for Bitcoin, it does lead to a pretty rosy picture for not just Bitcoin, but altcoins as well and CRO. So I do think that the 16-cent level is a great accumulation zone for CRO. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But what I do believe and what I've been talking about for years is that I think there's a chance that the total market cap for crypto. Now, this particular chart is the total market cap excluding top 10. But I think there's a chance the total market cap for crypto could continue and break through the highs we saw in August of 2025, find a new high. We might be finding a little bit of a bounce at this trend line, which it is literally having a candle close right off that. Ethereum as well is having a weekly candle closing possibly above this trend line. Another 8 hours, this candle will be closing, possibly bouncing off the $4,000 level that I've been talking about for literally weeks. And I think you need to be conscious of a potential bounce for Bitcoin and Ethereum and CRO right around these levels. It's interesting to see that Solana kind of had a strong day and is now showing weakness to maybe come back down. Some other altcoins like Pepe are showing a little bit of weakness right now, and Bitcoin dominance is coming up. So the risk is, my friends, is despite the fact that maybe Bitcoin's going to bottom here and maybe Ethereum's going to find a bounce, Bitcoin dominance is still looking quite strong. And if Bitcoin dominance comes up, CRO is still going to be lagging behind Bitcoin, and it's not quite altcoin season yet. You want altcoin season for a massive CRO pump. And in order to get that going, you need to see Bitcoin start being the thing that people are less attracted to compared to altcoins. And Bitcoin dominance would need to come down. I think there's a little bit of a Bitcoin dominance rally ahead, which will be followed by an altcoin season in my mind. And I want to know if you guys agree as I see this volatility play out in the crypto market. It's talking about a short position from like $4,600 down to this $4,000 level for ETH. What a great trade that panned out to be. There could be a great long opportunity from $4,000 going back up to these levels to new highs. These are the kind of things that I look at. And if you want to take advantage of the volatility in these markets, you can check out the affiliates in the description of every single video down below. It's also pinned in the comment section for you guys, but there is up to a $100,000 deposit bonus on Bit2Next and a $5,000 deposit bonus with a 10% trade rebate on Blowfin. If you want to check it out, it is there for you if you have not already signed up for these exchanges. Well, here we are coming into Q4, and I'm feeling pretty optimistic. I've got a feeling that Bitcoin's kind of looking like it wants to bottom right now. And I'm prepared for us to slip down to 100,000 and have a little bit more of a dip, but I am also ready for what I believe is going to be the end of the bull market. And when I say the end of the bull market, I mean a very good time for crypto. As you get to the end of a bull market, it is the best moment for gains, especially for altcoins. And CROcoin is an altcoin that I am personally very bullish on. And what I've been waiting for a long time is fourth quarter of the fourth year in the 4-year cycle and an altcoin season. And I think we're coming up on that pretty soon. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on this market right now? Do you believe that Bitcoin is finding a bottom here around this 109, 110 level? Or do you think we might still spill a little bit lower, have a little bit more of a sell-off before we get that last move? Or is this the bear market? Some people are thinking that. I'm not there yet, but I want to hear from you guys. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel, DCA HODL, do your own research. 2 videos here if you want to check them out, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, y'all.